Yeah. Hello, Wendy. Hello, Donald.
Hello. Let's have a look. See who we've got.
No, he's just said Wendy's left.
Has she? All right. We'll see. We'll see who we've got.
It's telling me each time it changes. It tells me when somebody new comes or when somebody leaves.
It flashes up on my screen as well, but it's a bit slow to catch. Apparently, we've got Donald Ferguson, who's muted at the minute. If you click the little speakery icon thing, Donald, you'll be able to speak to us.
If you want to.
Yeah, if indeed you want to, you might not want to.
So, what is the general plan for this? Are you showing us something, or are you just waiting for people to hop on to ask you questions?
I'm just waiting for people to hop on to ask me questions at the minute. To be honest, we haven't really thought it through.
Well, I might go grab something. I might have a question for you. I'm just going to turn my.
Right, I'll let you go and grab. So while Steph's going and grabbing things, how are things going, Alan?
It's fine. No problem whatsoever. My hands ache from doing that plumbing rotavator thing.
Have you rotavated it then, your lawn?
Yeah. And I found 3 big metal bolts.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I knew you should have run the metal detector over it before you did that.
Yeah, well, it's only gone over the like top 2 inch.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, took out all the grass. It was too hard for it to do anything with, and it was a murder digging it. But I dug it into big lumps and then gone over with the rotavator, and it's took out all the turf tufts off it and brought loads of stones to the surface and some bolts. So now we're slowly just taking the grass tufts out of it. So we've got some nice friable stuff. We're actually leveling it off.
Ah, so you're getting there with it now then?
Slowly, yes.
Cool, marvelous. Right,
I'm going to say I've just gone back onto the website where I was thinking of getting the AstroTurf from, and last week it was only £400. This week it's £500 for the same stuff.
Crikey. Yeah, blimey. Yeah, so that says that a lot of people are using AstroTurf then, does it?
Either that or they're jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, sounds like it, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, I've just changed the settings here, so hopefully Donald can probably speak to us now if he wants to.
Oh, we've got a chat from Donald. Yeah. Hi folks, greetings from Edinburgh. I'm here as an interested observer. Don't have a microphone on my PC, so can't chat. So he's not able to speak to us. Hi, Donald.
Hello, Donald. Donald, you must probably know the Edinburgh Remakery then, do you? Have you ever been in there? It's kind of shop thing in Edinburgh. It's a place I keep saying I mean to go to, but I never quite get to. I'd be interested to know if you've been there and what you thought of it. That stayed on your screen long enough to read it, Steph. It didn't stay on my screen long enough to read it.
What, Donald's message? I've got the chat pane open, so I can see it. It's constantly there.
Oh yeah, if you can keep an eye on that for me, that'd be marvellous.
Yeah, that's fine.
Donald says he hasn't been yet, but yeah, it's a place I mean to go to. I went.
He says, by the way, I am Gordon Ferguson's brother.
That
obviously means something to you because it doesn't to me.
Gordon, our Gordon. You know,
Oh,
Gordon
right.
Goliath. Not Gordon. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
I wondered whether it was a famous Gordon and who I'd not heard of.
What, like Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where he is, Donald. I've got no idea where he is. I've not heard anything from him for sort of about a fortnight. I don't know if it. Well, he should be tech savvy, being an ex-computer programmer and things. But I don't know if he does the whole Zoom thing or not.
So what are you working on there, Andy?
This thing here. This is the interior of one of these telephones that surround me where I'm sat here. I don't know if you can see where I'm sat, but I'm surrounded by telephones, by proper telephones. You know, the sort with a.
How many have you got?
The sort with a dial on. Do
you know how many you've got there?
The last time I counted up to about 250 and gave up.
Wow.
But yeah, this is the inside of one of them.
Are they quite sought after then? Those old-fashioned phones?
Yeah, I used to sell them through a local antique centre, and so I've actually had a lot more than this because I've sold a lot. But yeah, so yeah, they are sort of quite sought after now. But there's a lot of we don't have a, well, I mean, we do technically have a landline, but we don't use it. We just use our mobile phones. So. There's a lot of phony ones out there, though, if you pardon the pun. A lot of modern ones that look like the old ones, but not the old ones. I've not got one here because I try and avoid them. But yeah, so that's what they are and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you my question then?
You ask
I
away.
just got someone join on. Ollie?
Ollie? Oh, hi, Dr. Ollie. Morning, Ollie.
This word loves two things most of all. Books and, of course, candy.
That's probably not Ollie.
That's me.
Oh, it is you, Ollie.
Yeah, you can hear the telly.
Are you doing battle with CB, this?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was just seeing if anybody was on. I'm gonna move into the workshop in a second, where it's a little bit quieter.
Okie dokie. We can't see you, by the way. Are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that on as well when I get into the workshop.
Okie dokie. We'll see you in a second.
Okay,
sorry, Steph, what was I saying to you?
This little baby is a bubble machine. And when I turn it on, that's meant to rotate round, and it's just doing that.
Oh, it sounds to me like there might be a tooth missing off a little plastic cog somewhere.
Yeah.
There'll be a plastic cog somewhere in it, probably something like that. That was good. I had that ready, wasn't it? There'll be a plastic cog, something like that in it. And if just one tooth has worn away on it, then it'll go round to that point, and then it'll sort of get stuck there because there's no tooth on the cog to keep winding it down, sort of thing.
Well, I've got this. So I'm going in.
Right, go in. Show us what you're doing.
I'm just going to take the batteries out first. I don't know.
Yeah. Shove the camera down or something so we can see what you're doing.
Well, I don't know if it will. There you go. You see that?
Oh, brilliant.
Mm.
If you do
now you're going to see my really inept abilities at doing any kind of work on anything.
If you do this right, Steph, you'll get a job presenting Blue Peter later.
I haven't got one I made earlier, though, I'm afraid. That was a bit of a dad joke, wasn't it?
The question is, where is your Tracy Island?
You know, I never did that.
Neither
remember
did I.
watching it and people seeing them make it, but I never actually made it.
I was too old.
I did take part. I did actually get a Blue Peter badge because they had this competition to design a sort of like a mascot cartoony thing for promoting renewable. Not renewable. What are they called? Energy saving light bulbs. That's what I'm trying to say. And I designed. You had to draw a little cartoon character. And I didn't win or anything, but I got a Blue Peter badge for it. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to get in there.
This is where you find out the screwdriver won't go down the hole.
I don't think I've got a long, thin screwdriver. Oh, that's annoying.
That is often the problem.
Well, I'm going to have to get hold of a long, thin screwdriver. Oh, well, that's that then.
That's the problem with these bitty screwdrivers. These screwdrivers that have the bits in.
Yeah.
That's the problem with them, and that's the problem we often have with them at the repair cafes. A long time ago, we wanted a fancy one. We got a bit for, but we couldn't get a thin screwdriver for it. And somebody, I don't know if Gordon did it, somebody welded a screwdriver together out of a bit and a shaft of an ordinary screwdriver. They cut the end off and welded the new tip on. So we've got this particular long, thin screwdriver. What you want is one like that, isn't it?
Yeah. I really
don't think I can pass it over. I don't think it works. We should have rehearsed that.
Yeah, that's the only problem with doing it on a Zoom call. Oh well, that's that then for another time. But yeah, I'll try and get hold of a long, thin screwdriver and have a look for that cog.
Yeah, I think it's. I think you'll find that's a cog in there that's doing strange things. I think I'll cam up a bit because I'm not doing much on the desk at the minute. So yeah,
I'm trying to think if I've got anything else that's not working.
I've got lots of things that are not working, but they're not up here with me at the minute. That's the thing.
Some people in the country not working.
Who was that?
Alan, you're very quiet.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
I moved the microphone from right in front of my mouth.
Yeah, I think you have to be close to it. Some you have to be really close to when the microphones. Yeah, that's working now though. You sound in the room. You sound very radio broadcasty actually, Alan. It's quite good.
Well, I didn't want people, because it was so close to my mouth and my nose, I didn't want the sounds of breathing going down the airwaves.
It does sound like you've got a good quality microphone though.
It probably is one what came with a speech package, Drag and Dictate. So when people who can't use their computers, they can actually have this software on their machine, and it's a headset that actually comes with that. So it's got to be a reasonable quality, but I don't think it's mega expensive.
It must be pretty good. Mind you, having said that, I went to a pound shop years and years and years ago when pound shops were a fairly new thing. And I bought a microphone, a computer microphone, one of these that sits on the desk, out of the pound shop there. And you know something? It was a really, really, really good microphone. The cables on that and that on it were terrible, but the microphone itself was really, really good quality, the sound out of it. And it was £1 out of the pound shop.
Somebody else has joined us.
Hello, Gareth here. I'll rename myself.
Oh, hello, Gareth. Apparently you're Lenovo Tab.
I know, it's a bit of a boring name, really.
Yeah. I don't know anybody else called Lenovo.
Oh, have you heard about the there was some twins born in, I think, India, and the parents have named them COVID and Corona.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, poor kids.
As if there wasn't enough of that. How
But
did you
are
get...
I was going to say, are they called COVID? Yeah, Corona and COVID actually in Indian or English?
Like, I think it's COVID and Corona. I didn't actually see the article myself. Charlie, my husband, told me about it. But the parents must have just done that to get on the news. Why else would you do that to your kids?
Yeah. It'll be interesting in just under 20 years when COVID is 19. Yes. Well, what can you say about that, really? Why? Yeah. Just why would you do that? I've got no idea at all. None whatsoever. I don't know what's happened to Ollie and Gareth.
Oh, sorry, I'm here, but I'm also making coffee and nipping to the loo and things like that. So I'm just being slightly discreet at times.
He's there. I see. He's there. He's hiding. He's making coffee and things at the minute, and stuff. All good.
Yeah, Ollie though. I think Ollie's hopped off.
I think Ollie's on his way to his workshop.
Yeah.
So I've got something for Ollie and Gareth. The boxers. This is a VoIP adapter. Called analog terminal adapter. And
yeah.
They stop working quite frequently. I've got two here.
Yeah.
And I'm using them quite a bit at the minute because, well, I'll show you in a bit. But up here, theoretically, in amongst all these telephones that are not connected, are two that are, and they're connected via a little server thing that sits downstairs, which in turn connects to the telephones via these little boxes, and these little boxes keep stopping working. I think it's the power supplies on them. You know,
well, it should be. I mean, have you tried putting a multimeter?
Yes, and that's what makes me think it's the power supplies on them. What it was this one that says Linksys on it. This is what they call a PAP2 analog terminal adapter. They're all over eBay, but some of them where it says Linksys on there on that blue bit, some of them don't have Linksys written on the blue bit. They just have a blue bit. And what we think they're actually made by a company in China who stopped making them for Linksys when Linksys moved on. But that company just still keeps making them as not as knockoffs exactly, because we think it's the original company that made them. For Linksys, but they've just continued to do it, just not for Linksys anymore, so don't put the names on. But the power brick things are a bit dubious.
I bet, yeah.
So because I had one that didn't work. Well, it worked. It's still all lit up and everything. All the LEDs and that lit up on it, but it didn't connect, and I thought it had fried itself.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a completely new one. Purely by chance, I got them mixed up and put the new power supply on with the old box, and the box came back to life again. So I thought, it must be the power supply. So it must have been still supplying enough power to light the LEDs, but not enough power to make the thing function correctly.
Andy.
Yes.
Wendy's back. And I think there was a message from Steph saying she's gone to see if she can find a long screwdriver, whether you got them.
Yeah, well, yeah. Steph's gone looking for one of these screwdrivers.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, she's a bit far away. Otherwise, I'd try and throw it or something. But yeah, she's gone looking for one of them to try and get into her whale, I think.
And then I said, and we've got Wendy as well.
We've got Wendy, have we? Hello, Wendy. Let me see if I can see who's here. Yeah, we've got Steph. We've got quite a few people now. Yeah, we have got Wendy. If you want. Hello, is that Wendy?
It is, yes.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just trying to see if I can see you, Wendy.
Oh, I've not done this before, so I may have got no picture. Hold on.
Right. Let me have a look at my end, and I'll see what I can.
Oops.
I think, yeah, you have to choose to click on the start video. Yeah, I think often it starts without it by default, sort of thing.
Oh, okay. I might disappear again then and come back again. Hold on a minute.
Okie dokie.
And Gareth, you're the same. You've not got a picture at my end anyway.
Sorry, it's just because I was on the loo earlier and I'm going to
sharing.
Yeah, sharing is caring, and I'm going to take a cup of coffee up to my missus in bed, and so I tend to switch it off until I'm ready to sort of sit down and look presentable. You see my hair? I haven't done my hair this morning either, you know.
That's all right. Well, I haven't got a picture because I haven't got a camera.
That'll be the reason for it then. I don't know. Right, close that, and I should then be able to. I can see you now, Wendy.
Hello.
You're in video and you're coming through loud and clear.
Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
What can we do for you? Have you got something that's broken, or have you just come for a chat?
I'm nosy because I love repairing things, but I'm a sewer. But I've broken my favourite iron.
An iron?
Yeah.
Well, what have you done to it?
It dropped off the ironing board. The ironing board was wobbly and it dropped. And I've changed the fuse, but no joy.
Right. So if you change the fuse, have you had a look in the plug? See if anything in the plug is sort of come adrift.
Well, it's all one of these new plugs, you know, that you can't unscrew and
that you can't open up.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me have a look. Yeah, so it's one. Can you see? I don't know. Can you see that? Where is it? It's like one of those.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, it's one of those that's molded on. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have done that. So, do I?
Which end did you drop? Did you drop the iron end, or did you drop the plug end?
The iron end.
The iron end. So it's probably not terribly likely to be the plug. It's probably going to be something in the iron. Hello, Ollie's made it.
Hi guys.
You're not where that's supposed to be, Ollie. You're not really there. That's green screen trickery. You can't fool us like that.
I thought I might have you, but you've got me. I'm not in San Francisco. I am in Winterbank, Sheffield.
Oh dear. We've just got Wendy on at the minute, Ollie, who's got a problem with an iron.
Oh, okay. Hi, Wendy.
Hello.
She says she dropped it, Ollie.
Is there any signs of any cracking or any sort of physical damage on the iron?
No, there's nothing. No.
Okay. And any chance of screw holes?
Underneath there's some little plastic things that are covering the screw holes. Yes.
Okay. I don't know what other people think, but I'd be tempted to say we have to take the covers off the iron and check for hope for a loose connection.
I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah. Sounds like a connection issue. Is the cabling good, Nick? Because they tend to have them braided cables on them, don't the irons? Which are not great.
The cable's fine. There's nothing wrong with the cable.
Okay. And I know this might be unrelated. Have you checked the fuse?
Yeah, I've done the fuse. That was the first thing I tried.
Yeah. Yes, it might need taking apart. Sounds like it might need taking apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
One question.
Go ahead, Alan.
One or two questions I'd have. Are there any power lights on it which are coming on, but it's not getting warm?
No, the power light's not coming on at all.
Right. Okay. So I was wondering if it was power coming on but not getting warm, that could be a thermostat coupling what's broke.
No, there's no,
Yeah.
the power light just won't come on. I changed the fuse and then the power light won't come on. And then I changed the fuse again in case my fuse wasn't right, and I put an older one in and it still wouldn't come on.
Okay, yeah, so it really sounds like something might have disconnected when it's been dropped.
Right.
One other thing, Wendy, for you.
Yeah.
The fuse,
Yeah.
did you make sure you put the right value fuse into it?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah.
Probably a 13 amp one, I would guess, are you?
Yeah, I did. And like I said, just in case I managed to pick up an old one and not and that wasn't right, I tried two 13 amp fuses and neither of them would work.
Double checking.
Yeah, I double checked. Yeah.
Well, what you can do to check it is if you've got something else that takes a 13 amp fuse, like an electric kettle or something like that, put the fuse that you've currently got in the iron in the electric kettle or whatever and just try it.
Right,
and swap it back again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
So that's the only thing I can suggest there, but it sounds like something's come adrift when you've dropped it.
Right. So I could bring it to you guys maybe another Saturday when we're all back to moving around.
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely take a look at that when the world comes back to life again.
When the apocalypse is over.
Yes. Well, I'll need my iron at some point. I have another iron, so it's fine. But I really like this iron.
The good thing is that nobody's going out, so you don't have to worry about creased clothes at the minute.
No, I don't. No, it's more to do when I do lots of sewing, and it's really easy when you're doing your seams to press.
Oh, okay.
So. I have another iron. Don't worry. It's just I don't like throwing things away. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
That's all right. No problem at all. But it is definitely something I would say that's come adrift inside. Is it new, Wendy, the iron? Is it?
Somebody gave it me. It's probably about 5 years old. It's not a really, really old one.
Yeah, so it's not brand new. So it's less likely to be a loose connection if it's not brand new. But sometimes they just don't tighten these things up. There's a noise somewhere. Sometimes they don't tighten these things up from the factory, and people bring in something that's brand new that a wire's come out of, because they've missed tightening a screw up somewhere along the line. But if it's been used for sort of 5 years, it's unlikely to be that. It will be something that's jolted loose, I would guess.
Yeah. I just wasn't quick enough to catch it as it started to tumble.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Can I suggest that because someone's making some noise in the background, it might be worth muting yourself.
That's probably me. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's just, I mean, my hearing's not great, so probably I was struggling to hear what was being said. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's completely my fault. I'm trying to tidy my workshop at the same time as doing this and listening. So I'll mute myself for 2 minutes.
Okay, cheers, Ollie. It's gone quiet.
He's muted everybody.
No, can you hear me?
We can see you now, Gareth.
Yes, hello, I've reappeared.
Hello.
Hello. I was wondering, is it, I'm so bad at names, I've forgotten already. The lady with the toaster, Wendy, if she was going to try.
She got
I don't know if she wanted to try undoing it and having a look while we were all here, but if she's gone, then maybe not.
I've not gone. I'll go and get a screwdriver and have a go.
Yeah, just an idea. It might be fun. You can point the camera inside as well if you like. Show us all what the situation is.
Okay. I'll go disappear and find a screwdriver. Thank you.
If you can fix it while we're on Wendy, you'll have the dubious honour of being the first person to have something fixed at a virtual repair cafe.
Yeah, and hopefully you've got the right kind of screwdriver, unlike me.
I think I can. Okay, I'm going to go off.
Okie doke. See you in a second.
See you a second.
Yeah, I did have another look, but I definitely don't have a long thing screwdriver, so I'm going to have to go down to the hardware shop down the bottom of the road, who are still open properly.
Is the hardware shop open?
Yeah, I went in there a couple of days ago just to get some cleaning bits.
What is your hardware shop called?
Sorry?
What is your hardware shop called?
It's the Sharrowvale Road hardware shop or something.
Just in case anybody wants an hardware shop at the minute.
Is that still run by a youngish couple?
Yeah, with a cat. There's always a cat.
I knew them through somewhere. I can't remember how I got to know them, but they're really nice.
Yeah, they're lovely. Yeah, and it's a nice little shop, and it's not just DIY stuff they've got in there, but they've got all sorts in there for the kitchen. And so I went in there for my bicarb of soda and citric acid for my cleaning stuff. So very handy having it down the road.
I've been finding at the minute the little shops are better stocked than the big shops.
Yeah, I've actually, because I always shop mostly in the little shops anyway, but I've kind of been expecting them to be inundated, and they haven't really been, which I'm quite surprised at. But there you go.
I think they're better at restocking the little shops. I think they just like nip out to the cash and carry and get something, and they don't wait for the lorry to come, sort of thing. If they need it, they go out and get it and restock it. I've completely given up on Tesco's and things now. The advert that you see on the TV at the minute that says, "Oh yeah, we've got wipes for your hands as you go in, and everybody's 2 meters apart and all that," it's complete nonsense. It is absolutely complete nonsense.
I've not been in one since all this, so I've no idea.
If I do actually go down with this, it is down to Tesco's Superstore at Clown, because I've written to the CEO of Tesco's about it, and also to the Derbyshire Times. So by the Derbyshire Times next week, I might be in it.
Just while Wendy's getting ready, the other thing that I've got that needs something doing to it, I bought this little tripod, flexi tripod thing.
It looks like a gorilla pod thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it is actually. It was not expensive, so you get what you pay for in a lot of things, and it very quickly. In fact, I think one of the legs snapped inside. I've managed to glue that back in with super glue, and it seems to be holding for now. But then I don't know if you can see that bit. Can you see that? That tightens and makes this stay steady. Has snapped. I don't know if you can see.
Is it this sort of thing, Steph? Let me see. Does it look a bit like that? I've got.
Yeah, so it's like a circle with
a thread inside.
You see how it's snapped?
Yes.
Got a big crack in it. So can you get replacements for that then?
Yeah, the good news about those is they are a standardized size to fit in all sort of camera tripod. Is it a 1/4 inch thread? I think it is. So they are fairly standard, and I think an M8 bolt does the trick. I've got one. What I've just done the same to myself. I swapped it out instead of using those little. I mean, I've got one here what's snapped too, and I just used a little nut instead, and swapped it for a nut, and then just it's tight enough, finger tight when you use the nut.
The only thing I'd add is that I mean, I'm not normally one to discourage repair, but if it's a fairly cheap camera tripod and it's already broken in 2 different places, I worry that putting lots of effort into fixing it just might not really help it last much longer. And then, you know, you can only polish a soft brown thing so much. So just that's, I mean, you know, it's for the challenge, and also in these times, it's easier to glue it right now than to try and get something, you know, delivered. But
yeah, and I was thinking, maybe super glue or gaffer tape or something might do the job just for now, and then I'll look at getting a better quality product.
I think, yeah, if it's not going to have much good quality to start with, sort of thing, then you know, repairing bits and upgrading bits is always a little bit of a, you know, if you're starting with something that's quite good quality and you just have one bit that's broken or something, then that's a little bit different.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's still something that I have, which if I can save and continue to use them, I will do.
Oh yeah, no, I do feel a bit strange sort of saying that, but I suppose it was occurring to me that it, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
Thing is,
Do you mind if I tell you something similar? What I've done, I'm actually using my little jig. I use it for filming on sort of countertops and things like that. I'm going to try and spin my camera. There we go. Oh no, we've got the background and it's making a right mess of it. Technical difficulties.
Bridge was going to cause problems.
Trying to show off with his nice background.
There we go. Right. So if you see on this is like a clamp for it fits onto like countertops and stuff like that. At one point, this little round thing here would have been on there as like a twisty sort of screw thing. But I just swapped it out for the. Yeah, I just swapped it out for this nut. What you can see here, what I'm pointing at. And it does a cracking job. It does a much better job than it did before now.
Okay.
Where before it used to sort of slip if it was extended under weight, but now it's really solid. So that's just an idea. If you wanted to keep hold of it, it might be worth. If you've got a nut or something knocking about, what fits it.
I won't have one knocking about, I don't think, but might be able to have to get hold of one. But the other thing I was just thinking, if I was to, because I'm just going to put my video so I can see what you can see. Right, so there's the crack. So if I was to, see, I can't even like push it back together properly.
Yeah.
And obviously that needs to move, so I can't really glue it, can I?
Unless you took it off, glued it.
I haven't actually tried to take the whole thing off, actually.
Yeah, so if you spin the bit what holds your phone off, that'll spin off anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
So take that off, and then if you do the same to the broken sort of ring,
yeah, so I've got that.
It'll leave you with something similar to that. Oh, that is quite broken, isn't
bad,
it?
Isn't it?
You might be able to. You might be, with it just being cracked, it might super glue back together if you can.
Yeah, but it's even
super
cracked. It started to crack on the other side as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I think it's a lost cause, probably.
Yeah, well, I've got one here.
Because you never know.
I'll put this in my bag the next time I come to Repair Cafe when this is all blown over, and you can happily have this one because I've got no use for it anymore.
Oh, thank you. In the meantime, I'll see if Super can do the job, which it seems to have done with the leg. And I was so annoyed because even though it wasn't expensive, I bought it, but then I didn't use it for a while. I hadn't used it at all, and then I eventually gave it a go. But obviously, by then the returns period had gone, and I used it. I think it was on the second time I used it, the leg just snapped, and I contacted the seller. It was from eBay. I contacted the seller, just saying, look, I realise I'm out of the returns period, but could you replace it? And he never got back to me. I chased him up a few times, nothing. And I thought I could go down the eBay, route and get them involved, but because of how much it was, I just can't be bothered.
Yeah. I buy similar stuff all the time, like little tripods and things like that, and they are you do get what you pay for. I bought pricier ones and cheaper ones, and there's a massive difference between the two.
Yeah.
It just depends how much you use it and stuff.
Does that one you've got there keep on a shelf then, Ollie?
Yeah, I actually use it to. I'll show you again. I'll show you how I use it. I've got a couple of little setups in my workshop because I film a lot of the stuff what I do. So I've got this little rail above my workspace here, and this sits on there like completely static, so I can film sort of above what I'm doing, like a bird's eye view. And then this one, I usually fit it onto the worktop here. And then I can get a different sort of view of what I'm up to. But right now, I've just got the phone attached to it, and I'm using it as a webcam.
Yeah. So it's working
I
as
don't
a
know if
webcam.
I'm disconnected.
I believe Wendy's back with a screwdriver, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the screwdriver. I've taken the. Can you see? Let me see.
I can just see you at the minute. Right. Oh yeah.
I've got that. Bit that off.
Oh crikey, yeah. Right. Is there anything? Right. You see those little white plastic things, Wendy?
Yeah.
They're oddball things. They like push on.
Right.
They're probably quite a tight fit, and what you'll probably find is there's two wires going together in each of those, sort of just twisted together, and then those white things put on. They might screw off, but are they all secure? Are all the wires going into all of those secure?
Look. Sorry, water's dripping out the end of the iron. They look like they are. Can you see? Try to see if you can see.
There should be two wires going into each one, at least two, possibly more.
Yeah, there's two in that one, and they've got like a metal thing clipping them under the plastic.
That's right. Yeah, that's to sort of crimp the wires together.
Yeah, that looks right. That's got a brown. Can you see the brown and a red one in that one? Can you see it?
Ollie, can you just hit your mute button again a minute? Because every time you move, it puts the camera back on you.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Cheers. No worries. Right, go ahead, Wendy.
Do you want me to try and take the plastic off?
No. If they're secure, they should be okay. I would have thought.
They look like they're secure.
Right.
Just having a waggle. Yeah, that's secure. That looks it's secure. Yeah, they all look really tight.
Right.
I'm wondering, is there a knob to adjust the temperature, is there anything that could have taken a knock on the way down? Because I mean, those cables look quite nice, and they would have been inside the iron, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So I just suppose it's just a question of looking around and seeing what you can see.
Could be the temperature, because that would be on the edge. That would be obviously on the edge.
Right.
That could have hit it, couldn't it, as it went down?
And is that part visible now, or is it still hidden under the rest of the sort of?
It's still hidden under there. Can you see it's still hidden?
Right. Okay.
Under the plastic.
I can only see the top part of the iron.
Oh, there you go. Hold a minute. I've realised that plastic. Sorry, I'm not very good with the camera, am I? Where's the camera? So I've just realised that bit might come off.
Ah, yes.
So bear with me.
Screws.
It doesn't look like there's another screw anywhere.
Oh, brilliant.
It's just. Don't break it, Wendy. Oh, there is a screw. You're right. I found it. Shall I play with that while you talk?
Yeah, you have a play with that and see where you get to.
If I had this in front of me, I might be tempted, I don't know about what you others think, of trying to follow the electricity, but I don't know if that's such a wise thing to try and suggest to do remotely.
No.
Of course, the other option is still that it may be in the plug.
Okay.
But if it was the iron that hit the floor, I can't imagine it a bit, because plugs normally take a good knocking around. They don't normally, plugs always hit the ground when you pull them out of sockets and things and pick stuff up, and so they're normally fairly robust plugs. But irons are really difficult things to take apart. We have a lot of problems with irons, just getting them apart.
Yeah, I'm stuck and I can't get any further with this. I probably could get it open, but I'd probably break it.
Yeah, there's often hidden bits and pieces in them.
Yeah.
But it all looks okay. What you've done so far, I can't see anything obviously wrong with it. So I'm fairly sure there's something that's jumped out or something somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I just suspect it might be under this plastic bit, but I can't seem to get it off. I don't want to break it.
Now there may be hidden screws and things, under little covers or labels and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they are a bit problematical irons, but we've gone through the sort of what's what I'm looking for, the obvious things.
Yeah.
I think so. Has it got an on-off switch, Wendy?
No.
There's no on-off switch or anything on it.
No. Just as you plug it, the light comes on, and that's it. It would come on, and that's it.
And that light's not coming on at the moment.
No, it's not coming on at all. And I changed. I did what you said. I quickly took the fuse out of the kettle and put it in.
Yeah.
And I quickly checked it just before I unscrewed it all, and it still wasn't. So it's definitely not the fuse. I tried again with that. So.
Yeah. So we know the fuse is okay. Yeah, I think that's one you're going to have to put to one side and bring into us when things get back to normal. Right?
Okay, well, thank you so much for your help.
That's all right, no problem at all. Feel free to stick around if you want to, if you're bored and that. I've got no idea what time it is. Does anybody know what time it is at the minute? I'm recording this on my phone and my clock's on my phone, so I can't see it.
It's about
10 to 12.
Oh, we're not doing too bad for time. I thought it was later than that. So how's everybody getting on with this lockdown thing then? Are you all finding things to do?
I'm doing fine. I was in this really bizarre position where I was kind of thinking in February, I really need to get my head down and learn JavaScript, make this website. But it's just going to be impossible. I'll never get concentration. I can never get rid of distractions at work, and but what I really need to do is just lock myself in my bedroom for 2 months, sort of thing. And then this thing came along. So I'm bizarrely one of the few people that it probably is less disruptive to, So I feel really sort of privileged, really.
I'm no less busy than I normally am. I don't quite know how it's happened, but I'm probably busier now recording podcasts and things like this than I would be if we didn't have a lockdown. And it doesn't affect me because I'm going out dog walking every day, so I'm still sort of out there pretty much every day, just trying to keep away from people. Yeah, back.
Yeah, it hasn't really.
We've actually been. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Sorry, no, you go. You go.
Yeah, we've been busier than ever. We're sort of the only. I only know two guys who are fixing phones in Sheffield, and we're in quite a unique position where because we don't have a premises, we can still operate, and we can operate a contactless repair service. So we're busier than ever. I've probably gone from doing about 5 or 6 repairs a day to doing 10 to 12 repairs a day, and it's just my head is absolutely scrambled. It's really busy.
Is it? All right. So it's actually brought you some business in then, it sounds like, because it's sounding like, Ollie, that people who would normally sort of go to the little market phone repair place that's obviously closed at the minute are sending them to you.
Exactly that. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's really busy, which it's good for me in a way. I feel sorry for the guys who've had to close and everybody who's had to close their small businesses, but yes, it's one of those things.
Yeah. What makes me wonder about it is if when all this is blown over, is if there will be any permanent changes and if people will do more stuff online going forward. Because even in 3 or 4 months' time, when it'll probably all have blown over, because that's how long it seems to took it in China and that, I think I'd still be a bit worried about going into a crowded shop or a crowded market, even if they said nobody's got coronavirus anymore.
Yeah, I think it's quite important to look at sort of the Chinese culture and the Chinese students who you see walking about Sheffield. And even before this came about, they were all sort of going out wearing the masks and things like that. And people often looked at them and thought they were a bit silly. But I think that stems from, 2002 when the SARS outbreak happened in China. And they got hit pretty badly by that. And I think after that, everybody had the sort of face masks on and things like that, and really they were a lot more careful. And
yeah, I thought
a lot of
it
people
was more to do with air pollution. I'd heard that it was about them worried about breathing in particles and things.
Yeah, I thought that at first. But I was reading a book about Jack Ma, and they went into quite a lot of detail about the SARS virus and sort of the effects afterwards. And it seems that might be sort of the reason as well. Because I don't think that those little surgical masks, they call them N95 masks, they don't really prevent against pollution all that well. They don't stop carbon monoxide getting through. Right.
It's more about
I really think it's a German thing.
Yeah. Morning, Emma. I think Emma's with us.
Oh, hello.
Hiya. You all right?
I can't. Oh, she's there. There she is. Yeah.
Where are you, Andy?
Where am I? I'm in a loft.
Is that your loft?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Is that a lot of telephones that I see?
That's a lot of telephones behind me.
That's excellent, Andy. I'm enjoying that.
Oh, I thought I'd go somewhere colourful this morning.
No, I like it. It's great.
So we thought we'd try and do colourful.
Right.
But Ollie upstaged me one earlier. You didn't.
Oh, how come? What did I miss?
It was.
Well, I've got a unpainted back wall, so I just stuck a little background behind me like that. So
lovely stuff.
I'm pretending I'm in San Francisco.
Yeah, we did one yesterday with Leeds, but it actually just turned our face into Leeds. It's very confusing.
In Leeds?
Nice.
Ollie was in San Francisco and you went to Leeds.
Oh, it's working today. Yesterday it wasn't working.
Yeah, it works on everything but your light switch.
Yeah, no, yesterday it was like turning my eyes like that and my hair like that. It was like this.
Yeah.
When it starts freaking out.
Yeah, they actually work better than you would think they'd work. I would have thought yours would work better than Ollie's, because yours has a more blank wall behind you than Ollie's is, but But I think colour has a lot to do with it.
I have
think
seen
really
some where it's done the eyes, and it is a little
Scary, isn't it?
scary.
Has anybody got any repairs?
Yeah, we've had. Well, I bought this.
Oh, is it a bath toy?
No, it's a bubble machine. But
Ooh.
unfortunately, I haven't got a screwdriver long and thin enough to get into the hole. So that's one for
Right.
another day. But how did Wendy get on with the iron? I missed that.
Basically, she got into it and couldn't see
Hi, Wendy.
anything really
Hello.
amiss with it. She couldn't see anything really amiss with the inside of it. So I think it's one that we're going to have to do in person when things get back to normal.
Yeah. I was
And
trying to think if I had anything, but
I've got my like a little tripod thing, and the I can't even remember what Ollie called it. It snapped.
oh,
Nut or whatever it's called.
can you just super glue it, or that would not be enough?
Yeah, well, I'm going to super glue it and see how that goes. But Ollie says he's got a spare that he'll bring to the next, whenever the next actual repair cafe is going to be, if just in case. But in the meantime, I'll see if super glue will work. And I think is that all we've had? Have I missed anything out?
I think that's pretty much all we've had. One thing to try with that, Steph, if you super glue it, if you've got any baking soda in the house, when you put the super glue on, sprinkle baking soda on it, because baking soda accelerates the drying of the super glue.
Okay.
And it'll also sort of go into the crack a bit and act like a filler. People use it on guitar frets. You know the little ivory bit on a guitar fret where you the bit that goes across the guitar that you press against your fingers and the string. They wear down, and people put baking soda and super glue on them as a mixture, and it acts like a filler and builds them up again.
Charlie that. I don't know if he knows about that. He's the guitarist. He probably knows.
It goes really, really hard.
And do you file off the excess afterwards? Because I've heard of this technique, but I've never I've never used it myself.
Yeah, I suppose you can file it and sand it or whatever. It just makes the baking soda sets the super glue faster.
Right.
But it's the baking soda that gives it body, sort of thing.
Yeah, because super glue is very viscous, isn't it? That's one of the downsides sometimes, is that you can't make a blob of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unless you've got sticky super glue. Alan's got some sticky super glue.
Ah.
But put the glue on first, and then so if I put the glue in there and then try and sprinkle the bicarb into that and then squeeze it shut.
No, I would put the glue on, squeeze it shut, then put your soda on it once it's squeezed shut. Because what you don't want to do is really get any baking soda in that gap, because if you got baking soda in the gap, it wouldn't close up enough, and it'd be wrong when you come to screw it back onto the thread.
Okay.
But the baking soda will accelerate it, so it'll hold it shut. But you won't have to sit there and hold it, because some super glue doesn't seem to set very fast these days.
Well, it seemed to set quite quickly when I did that, but I didn't sit and hold it. I didn't hold it in there for too long, and it seems to have worked. But I'll try it. I'll give it a go and let you know how it works.
Okay. It all depends a bit if there's any force trying to pull it apart as well. If it's two things that have not got a lot of force trying to pull them apart, it works okay. But hello, it says Steph left. It says.
Yeah, I think her internet's dropped out.
Yeah, possibly.
I was about to say, because she was going to go to the hardware shop, wasn't she, to get a screwdriver? They might have got some M8 nuts.
Oh yeah, good point. Was it M8?
That's what Ollie said, M8.
Right.
I think it would be quite wise to take it with you, because I seem to remember something about it being a fine thread. I'm not sure, but it is a standard, isn't it? That sort of camera mount thing. But I wonder if it's got a fine thread or something slightly odd. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm going to double check. I'm going to double check it now, but I'm pretty sure that it's a 1/4 inch and it's very, very standard. And they're not fine threaded. Definitely not.
Steph just said her laptop ran out of battery, and she said, "Thanks for the advice, everyone." So if we've got anything else for her, we might just need to send her a message.
Yeah. Right. Okie dokie.
Ollie,
Yes.
did you get anywhere with looking for some phones?
I did have a little look. There wasn't actually much around at the time, but I will get my missus back on it, and I will try and get you one. When I last checked, there were probably 2, and they were real snotters, what I'll call them. But I will take a look into it again, and I'll try and get you sorted out.
Good, because Sandra's phone's really playing up. It's switching from loudspeaker to muting to all sorts of different things, and now she's
okay. That might actually be some gunk what can be in the headphone port. That it does that. Sometimes a bit of gunk gets in there, and it can short it out and make it think that there's some headphones in the phone.
Okay, but you've got my phone number, haven't you?
I have got your number, yes. And if I find one, I'll let you know as soon as possible.
Okay.
I'm right on my list of things to do today, right now.
Okay, thank you.
You've got a list of things to do. I've got a list of things to do. But, I write my list of things to do on a roll of Andrex, Ollie. It's the only piece of paper I can find that's long enough.
You must be loaded.
Oh, no.
You must be loaded if you got using toilet paper as note paper.
Yeah.
Well, it is valuable these days.
That's where it's all gone, isn't it? It's on Andy's to-do lists.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah. I've used it all as note paper. Yeah. Right. I'm just going to have a little look, sort of who we've got at the minute. Nobody new has appeared at the moment. It's all pretty much who it was earlier.
How long did you say we'd be doing it for?
I said an hour, and then we talked about possibly coming back this afternoon. If people wanted to come back this afternoon for an hour. Everybody's gone quiet.
I just muted myself because I've got my 5-year-old here.
Hiya!
Come and have a nosy. People saying hi.
Hi.
Hello.
But I'm happy to come back on this afternoon at some point, and I'll put something on my social to see if anybody's interested in any advice for phones and things like that.
Yeah.
Good plan.
I was saying to Steph earlier, before most of you joined, that we put it out on the Facebook page and on the website as well. And the Facebook page thing normally normally reaches about 300 or 400 people when you put a post
Impressive.
on Facebook. The post about this reached 4,500.
Okay.
So about 10 times what it normally does. So
that's really good going. If it's is that all just natural as well? No paid on that, is there? No paid on that.
Nothing paid on that. No, I think quite a bit of it was down to Steph sharing it, various people sharing it.
Good numbers. I'm gonna share the post now onto my page, and it might improve it a bit. We usually get about 400 to 600 reach on a post organically, but we do quite a lot of paid advertising on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth setting a time for next week to give people a bit of notice.
Yeah. When do you want to do it again, folks? That's the question. Do you want to do it in a few days, in a week, in a fortnight? What do you all think?
I think one of the good things about this time is it seems more normal to me.
Yes.
That's my feeling. It's nice to have some small elements of normality in life.
11 o'clock.
It suits me, yeah.
And me.
Do you want to go for 11 o'clock next Saturday for another one then?
Does that work for you, Ollie?
Sorry, what was that? I missed that. It was just leaving my boy. What was the day and the time?
11 o'clock next Saturday.
That works for me. I'm trying to keep weekends quite free, so yeah, I will do 11 o'clock next Saturday, and I'll try and advertise it on my social through the week, because we do get quite a lot of interaction on our posts and things like that.
Cool.
Well done for setting it up, Andy. It's a great idea.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. I was just following what everybody else in the world seems to be doing. I'd not even
there's
heard
a first time for
this
everything. That's not your normal philosophy, is it, Andy? So that's good to hear that you you went with the flow this time.
No, I don't normally follow the crowd. No.
It was nice to see you, Wendy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your help.
Cheers, guys.
All I need to do is get a webcam.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
I
Alan,
miss your face.
You need to get a webcam. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I could do it off the phone. I did this yesterday with a friend called David yesterday, and I was holding the phone and I was making him feel seasick with juddering. So I thought, I better see if I can set up the desktop, at least talk to you all.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, well, I got a thing for the phone. I keep forgetting I've got this on my phone, so I can move it. Hang on. Right.
Give us a tour of that room.
Let me see if I can do this. Hang on a sec. Right. That's the thing that I was.
How exciting!
I was on. Yeah. That's
yeah. I can see.
And that's one of them things that Steph wants on the bottom of there. Look as well. Right.
I want a tour of the room, Andy.
Got a tour. I've got to unplug you a second then,
okay.
And we'll go on tour. You want to see some? You want some telephones? Do you? Why?
I mean, one can never have enough telephones.
Right. So there's.
Clearly, that's a lovely shade of blue.
It is, isn't it?
That one.
Yeah.
That's quite rare. The blue ones are these. I'll bring it down here so you can see it a bit better. The blue ones.
Do they work, Andy?
Yeah, most of them work. Yeah.
Do you sell them?
I used to. Yeah, I used to sell them in an antique centre.
Can I buy one?
But that blue one, you can buy one. They go for about £40 or £50 for a genuine one.
They're not. They're nice. They remind me so much of my childhood.
Well, these are quite rare because these are what they called a what the hell did they call it? A compact. Because a normal telephone of the era doesn't fit very well on a windowsill, and these are not as deep that way across, and they're not as deep that way across.
Yeah.
Because there's no bells in them, because the bells are on the other end of this wire. There, in that little box, you see.
So how big's the box? Is the box the same size as the phone?
Yeah, well, there's my hand on it, so you get some. Yeah, roughly. I mean, I've just got them stood on top, so I can sort of get more things into a very small space, because this room is not as tidy as you would think. In fact, it's absolutely totally untidy. In fact, I can't get out of this room until I move things.
Come on then, rest of the tour.
Right, you want some more? Right, push button.
I want to see what phones I can buy. No.
Push button. No. Right. You can have a.
Ooh, oh, my friend's got one of those in her house.
That's a sort of Mrs. Bouquet.
Yeah, she's got one of those.
Yeah. And the next one at the side of it, that's a brown one. Brown is rare. They didn't make many brown ones.
We had that red one, like it was cream, but we had one of them for a while as well.
That's got a dial on the red one though.
Yeah, no, I don't want them.
Then there's that one there. What colour would you say that is?
I'd say green.
I'm going for green.
Wrong. That's actually officially Concord blue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Everybody always thinks they're green, and they do look green. But what happens is the stuff they're made out of, the plastic, it changes colour. It yellows over time, and so what happens with it is the blue phone plus the yellowing of the plastic turns them green.
So it is green.
It is visually green, but technically the plastic is blue.
Right.
And then there's some grey ones there, some of which look brown, and again it's because of the yellowing of the plastic over 40 or 50 years. I can't go much further down because there's a box in the way. And then there's a box of bits there, you see. Right, you want me to go further across again? Right.
This is a lot of telephones.
It's quite a few, yeah. It's quite a few. And they're yellow one. That row's yellow ones. That row is ivory ones. That row is yellow ones.
They're actually yellow.
They're what they call topaz yellow.
Right. So far, I like the blue one and the green one that isn't green.
Yeah, the green one that's not green. Yeah, there's ones that actually are green. Remember, the handsets are all the wrong way around on these.
Yeah, they go the other way. Yeah,
more on the shelf. Yeah, but there's some green ones for you. These are the ones to look for. That can you see? They've got letters as well as numbers.
Ah, yeah.
They are the ones to look for. Why? Because they're the older ones.
Oh,
they stopped doing that in the sort of late 1960s. Stopped putting the letters on.
So when would you use the letters?
When you were dialing long distance, because they still do it sort of in America in certain places. You actually dial 3 letters and then a number.
So if you want a W, you'd have to do W 3 times.
Yeah, if you wanted to dial, if you wanted to dial SHE, for instance, you'd do an S there, which would be a 7. Then H, which would be a 4.
So okay.
Then E, which will be a 3.
Right. So it's not like on your phone where you have to press the button 3 times to get the letter. It's just that those letters, there's no combinations that would.
No, because.
Be 2.
No, they're not. No, you don't do it a number of times. You just do it once for the area. It's all to do with how the phone actually just does numbers in reality.
Yeah.
But they're just letters that correspond to certain numbers.
Right.
Because it pulses.
I think that makes sense to me in a sense that if you hear like American TV adverts and they'll say 0800 phone or something like that, and you, instead of using the that makes sense.
That's exactly it, Ollie. Now, the
Nice.
complicated bit about that is on an American one, the letters are in different places. That, you know, the same letters don't correspond to the same numbers on an American one.
Right.
So if you've got an American phone in the UK or a UK phone in America and you try to use the letters, it doesn't work necessarily.
Ah.
That was bad planning.
Yeah. Well, there's a few more.
Andy, you said about Sheffield, and if for the E you wanted 3. Can you double check, because isn't that on 2? Because it used to be 0742 Sheffield.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. That wasn't a real one. What I said for Sheffield. For the,
right,
for the
okay, that's fine. But yeah, it was on 2 because it was 0742.
Yeah, no, I was just making that up for the code.
Alan's on it.
See, so I remember dialing 0742 when I was at college, having to ring home.
Yeah, it was indeed 0742. Yeah. So there's a few more down here. The Bakelite one there. That one's from, I think that's from Portugal. That one.
We could sell her an Erica phone.
That one's from India. Nobody wants an Erica phone except you. They're the most stupid thing that's ever been designed.
They're excellent. We never use it apart from we can hear it ringing all over the house.
Why? What's wrong with them?
Right. I'll just finish this and then
Finish the talk.
and then I'll explain what's wrong. Because we've got trim phones on the top row.
Very Thunderbirds.
There. If ever you see a trim phone that's a bright colour and it's a genuine old one with a dial on it, and it's obviously not a new one, the way to tell it's not a new one is look if it's got a star and a hash key on it. If it's got a star and a hash key, it's a new one.
New.
So anything that's not got a star and a hash key is a genuine old one.
Noted.
But if this new one in a bright colour, like that red one, for instance, or that brown and cream one there, they are worth considerably more money because they're what they call Phoenix phones and they weren't made for very long.
Ah.
So I think I've about gone through it. And there's a little switchboardy thing there like you would find in a hotel or something.
Nice.
So all right, I've got to figure out how to turn my camera back round again now.
Nice tour, thanks.
You're welcome. Right, am I back the right way round now? Now
You're back.
Now I've got to figure out how to put the camera back in the thing the camera was sat in.
We're a little bit similar in our workshop, Andy, except we've got a lot newer phones. These are than those ones. You can't spin the little dial on there. And this is one in pieces that I've got here as well.
Hello, what's happened there? Oh, we're back. Hang on.
Your office isn't quite as tidy, Ollie. Sorry.
No, mine is an absolute dump. If you can see it here, we've been so busy. That I
It's a
just
great
don't have the
workshop,
time.
though.
This is really not tidy.
It's a great workshop.
It's purpose built and it serves a good purpose. We're really happy with it.
Yeah. Do you work from home then, Ollie?
Yes. This is the shed. What I'm in. It's sort of a shed. It's a brick built shed on the back of our house, and we turned it from a storage into what we've got now. And this, I'll show you my favourite tool. This might be something somebody's interested in. I don't know. So this is a fibre laser marker.
Ooh, what does that do?
This will engrave metals and cut metals and things like that. So you program it on the computer. I'll try and show you an example of what we do with it. Just give it a minute to load. So you program it with some dodgy Chinese CAD software.
Programming it with Chinese CAD software. I hope your computer don't get a virus.
No, only coronavirus. But yeah, it's sort of, so you see that's the outline of the phone there with the camera cut out, and that's the NFC chip. And basically, we put the broken back of the phone on the laser like that, and it'll shoot laser beams at it, and it burns the adhesive off. Do you mind if I do it now? Do you want to see what it does?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Why not? Let me give me a minute to just get it programmed, and then I'll show you what it actually does. I need to do this phone anyway, so I will do it. But then I'll just have to I'll have to go off sound after that because it does make a bit of noise.
Okay, that sounds cool.
So let's.
Marvelous. Well, while Ollie's doing that, let me grab this thing and I'll show you why they're stupid.
They're not stupid. It's only there's people what don't think what they're doing.
They're stupid, Alan.
If you think about how you're putting it down, you don't do the problem.
You do the problem, because I think about how I'm putting it down every time and still manage to do it. Right. The problem with these, and they used to use these in hospitals because they were a one-piece phone. They were a one-piece thing, and they said, yeah, we'll have them in hospitals because people can pick them up off the bedside. But the problem with it is, what happens is there's a dial on the bottom, you see.
Oh yeah.
So you dial like a normal phone. But the thing to hang up, obviously there's no what they call switch hooks. So the thing to hang up is this red thing in the middle. So when that's sat on there, your phone is like on the hook. And when you want to answer your phone, if it rings, you pick it up like that and hello, yeah? Or you just pick it up and dial, yeah?
Right.
That's fine until you're on a call and somebody says, yeah, I'll tell you that number. And you say, hang on a minute, I'll just go and get a pen. And you put the damn thing down and cut them off.
Operator error.
And I've done it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And
well, there's just no helping some people.
It never gets any better. But really, really stupid. Why that couldn't be a switch on top of there, I do not know.
I see what you're saying. They were trying to be too clever.
Yeah. That's the Swedish for you. That is Ericsson.
But it does sit nicely on a windowsill.
Yeah, it's very compact.
Yeah, Alan's actually got the sister to this one that came in the same batch that this one. He's got a red one identical to this. Sat on his.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those before, I don't think.
It's an Ericaphone. Again, there are a lot of cheap, modern, nasty copies of them out there. But this is I think this is actually not a British one. I think this is actually a Swedish. Might be an American one. But yeah.
We don't actually use it as a phone because it's not often we use the actual landline. But when we use the cordless phones, it's sat on the windowsill and it vibrates. So when the battery's gone flat, it vibrates all around the house, so we know to go and find the other phone.
That's the other stupid thing about Ericaphones. Some of them don't have a ringer in them. So you don't know when anybody's calling you.
That's an issue.
Yeah. None of them ring, they actually buzz. There's a little buzzer in this one, but a lot of them don't have a buzzer and you have to have a separate ringer with them. Oh, Ollie's phone is doing things.
He's making lots
Yeah,
of...
I just wanted. I was going to let you finish what you were saying, but yeah,
Let's go.
I've managed to program it, and you see the flashing light. The white one is actually burning the adhesive off, and it burns the paint layer off inside the glass of the phone, and then underneath. Because this one's cracked so badly, a lot of the light actually refracts inside the broken parts of the glass, and it doesn't work too well for this kind of repair. Yeah, it's doing what it needs to do. It takes about 7 or 8 minutes now to laser this through here. Once that's done, this might need 2 passes actually. Once that's done, then I will scrape the glass off with like a flat blade on a scalpel.
So that's the back of the phone, isn't it?
That's the back of the phone, yeah, and they have these glass backs because they have wireless charging on the phones now. They use glass on the back because it allows the electric to pass through a lot better.
So what will you do with the phone afterwards?
So this one is in for a full repair. So I'm going to replace the back glass. The screen's off the front of the phone as well, underneath. It needs a new battery in it, and it might need a little bit more work to it to try and get it working again. This one it sounds like it was a weird story, to be honest, but it sounded like somebody had stolen the phone, smashed it up, and they'd managed to retrieve it.
So did you scan the back of it first to get the shape that the laser, is it tracing out individual broken pieces? Is that what's happening?
No, it uses a template. So it's pre-programmed in the computer. I'll show it you again now. So we programmed the computer to outline the black parts, missing out the sensitive areas around the bottom. That big middle bit there is the wireless charging antenna. So we don't want to mark that. And then this is the camera and a few other sensitive bits. This is a little opening what goes straight through to the logic board on the other side.
Right.
But yeah, this is all pre-programmed by somebody else. We just have to make minor adjustments so that it does miss those
I
bits.
see the middle bit's not gone. That's incredible.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it can be used for sort of marking as well and engraving. And this is a card wallet what I use, and that's been engraved by it. So you just program it to do various shapes and files. We can pretty much engrave anything.
Can it engrave into steel?
Yeah, it does steel. It doesn't do the best job on steel. It does best on anodized aluminium because it takes the anodized coating off the top.
Yeah, I can imagine that would work really well. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's sort of anodized aluminium what I'm showing you there.
Yeah.
But it does mark steel. You can use sometimes people use just a Sharpie, and once it engraves onto that, then it leaves a blacker mark on it, a darker mark. So depending what the steel is and what you want it for, like it can engrave dog tags and things like that quite nicely.
I'm just it's my daughter's birthday later on in the month, and we're getting her a kitchen knife because she's really into cooking. So yes, if we could engrave, because she'll be going off to university hopefully, maybe next year.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if we can get her name engraved in it, she'll have slightly less chance of losing it.
Yeah, you know what? That'd actually be really nice. I'm gonna do a test one on one of my kitchen knives, and I'll send you it, Gareth. And if you like it, then I'll happily engrave something onto it for you.
Yeah, maybe I can disinfect it, put it in a bag, and whatever the protocol is, and somehow get it to you. And you know,
it might look a bit suspicious that you handed me a disinfected knife. kitchen knife in a plastic bag, but yeah, whatever.
I'll put an evidence tag on the bag.
So Ollie, what do you do with the phones that you repair?
We give them back to the customers. I mean, I've got a big pile of them here, what I buy and sell. I usually buy broken ones, fix them and sell them on for a profit. But generally, the customers' phones, we collect them from them, and we do.
You're breaking up a bit there, Ollie.
Breaking up. I think he's lasered himself.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He's just gone really, really small.
True.
Is he still with us? Let's have a look who we've got. Who's here at the minute?
Me, you, Gareth, and Alan, and Ollie.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks right at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, we're still here. We have had a couple of sort of non-regulars in. This
That's
morning,
good.
but, so that's good. So word has got out there a bit that we're here and doing stuff, I think. So marvelous. It's been marvelous. I'd quite like to know what he's actually doing to that phone.